Ladies and gents, welcome to G Reaction, and this is the shark tier list by the channel TierZoo. Yeah, this is a basic. Sharks are basically, one of the most dangerous and one of the oldest predators of all time, I guess. So yeah, shark. Who's going to be the first? Is it going to be the great white shark? No, I don't think. I think hammerhead is more dangerous. I'm pretty sure. Hammerhead is more dangerous. The extinct shark, Megalodon, that was supposedly even worse. Apparently they are extinct, so thank God. There was a movie called Mag 2. It wasn't good, about Jason Statham. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, sharks are really, I guess, the biggest predator of the waters. I'm pretty sure. Or are there, some whales, or I don't know. So yeah, sharks. There are, in the deep sea, that is mostly uncharted. People don't know what more creatures could be there. I'm just imagining, what if there is even worse shark down there, even worse than Megalodon? That would be just fucked up. But yeah, let's watch this. I love this channel, TierZoo. I never thought I would, learn about basically any animals and things like this, but apparently there's a channel. He basically, gives everything like it's a game, so it's always fun to learn. So yeah, let's watch this one.
Innovations made by players have been the main driving force behind the biggest meta shifts in the entire history of the game, and today I want to highlight one of the most important, the implementation of the move Bite. There's actually a fair bit of debate on which guilds can take credit for pioneering this move, but there's no question that one of the first to really perfect it, to the point of being meta-defining, were none other than the Sharks. And since then, they've been holding on to that top spot tighter than Ice Climber players hold onto a wobbling victim. They've been extremely relevant in every expansion since the Silurian, something very few guilds can claim. So today I'll go over the tier list of the Sharks, and highlight the main attributes and abilities which have made them such fearsome
Who's going
builds.
to be in the F though?
Overall, Sharks are at a pretty good spot in the meta, averaging around B tier. The main benefits of playing a Shark build include high mobility, high damage, and most importantly, the ability to sense any player near you due to special abilities like Blood Sense and Electroreception.
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. Sharks can sense blood for extremely long distances. They can travel extremely long distances. Most of the sharks have to be on the move all the time just to stay alive, I guess, because they can't take oxygen otherwise or something like that. They constantly have to move. So lots of them don't even sleep. They kind of hibernate here and there in some sense. I mean, they shut off some part of their brain, but they don't completely sleep like we do. And they constantly have to be on the move. They're just, when you hear about all things about shark, it's just effed up, man. They are just killing machine, I guess.
Main drawbacks include lacking swim bladder, an ability which allows the user to control their buoyancy at will, and also lacking gill flaps. Gill flaps passively regenerate stamina, and is an ability unique to bony fish, so sharks can only regenerate stamina if they're moving. Now let's talk about individual shark builds. As always, we'll start from the bottom of the tier list and work our way up. In bottom tier, we have nothing. There are genuinely no shark builds I could justify as being bottom tier.
No F.
Most sharks don't deviate too far from the base shark concept, which is good because it's a great guide for success. With that said, not all sharks are created equal, and in D tier we have two builds which don't really capitalize on any of the benefits of the shark class. First is the nurse shark. Low mobility, sedentary playstyle, and a really weak bite. Instead of abusing the powerful kit available for shark classes, nurse sharks rummage around the ocean floor looking for easy XP. However, they do have the strongest suction force of any fish, and since they don't have many terrible matchups, they're definitely no F tier.
Vacuum cleaner sharks,
Second in D tier
apparently.
we have the saw shark. Saw shark players, what are you doing? Teeth are some of the best weapons in the game, and the only drawback to using them is that breaking them can ruin your playthrough.
Yeah, but shark can
But
regenerate.
sharks have replaceable teeth, so that weakness is completely nullified. So why did you opt for this goofy, cumbersome, impractical weapon setup?
Okay, I don't think shark can regenerate teeth. They just have extra sets of teeth, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, I'm confused on that front. But damn, saw shark, really? Damn. I didn't know. I know there was a saw, some kind of a fish that is like that, but I didn't know there was a saw shark like that. So they use that apparently to cut off their prey. Walking sword, apparently, in a swimming sword.
Swinging that thing around uses way too much stamina for what it
What
nets
the
you,
fuck? Look at that.
and isn't very useful
That's
for
not a
defending
shark.
yourself. Whatever,
Yeah,
you
it's
do
a
you, I
sawfish.
guess. In C tier, we've got all the sharks that decided they'd rather AFK their entire game instead of making use of the best tools available to sharks. This includes the basking shark, whale shark, and any other shark who thought filter feeding was a better idea than being a swimming doom machine. Yes, it may be easy if you make it to the late game, but without good weapons and low mobility,
What is
the
this?
majority
Can't
of your
close the
playthrough
mouth?
is a huge risk, with mobile fish
That's
players
creepy.
like the marlin and sailfish having no problem taking you out. Now we're in B tier, and we're almost to the shark builds who know how sharks are meant to be played. Almost. But first, we've got two more unorthodox builds. Some of my personal favorites, actually. The first is a shark who decided that, despite being one of the smallest of its kind, it would attack the largest builds in the game, the cookie cutter shark. Cookie cutter sharks are unorthodox in that instead of going for the predator playstyle, they function as a parasite. They simply latch onto a whale or other massive player, and by twisting themselves
Ooh,
back...
I know about this. I heard about it somewhere that some US submarine got damaged like that, I think during the Cold Wars, and they thought that Russia was apparently damaging the ship or something, but they found one of these things latched to side, I guess, at the hull or something. I don't know.
back and forth.
Damn, that's something.
They steal a cookie-shaped bite right off. This doesn't do much damage to players, but interestingly, this build was a secret among the Shark Guild, up until a few cookie cutter players accidentally attacked human submarines,
Yeah.
and actually caused their sonar to malfunction. This was during the Cold War, so the Russians and Americans assumed that the other was somehow sabotaging their submarines, until eventually a Soviet sub surfaced with a Shark player still latched on.
Oh, there was a Soviet
In B
one.
plus tier, we have a shark which uses one of the only AoE stun moves seen in the entire game, the Thresher Shark. Attacking a school of fish is difficult, and due to their advanced evasion and diversion tactics, you have to be fast, lucky, or clever in order to even catch a single fish. That is, unless you can hit them with a flashbang, which is
No
essentially
way,
what
really?
Thresher Sharks do. Thresher Sharks have tails as long as the rest of their body, and they use them as a whip, creating shockwaves which stun small groups of fish, negating their normally excellent evasion abilities. They do all of this without
Damn.
deviating too far from the great base stats of the Shark build, so they retain decent mobility and attack power while wielding this weapon. In A tier, we finally get to those famous core shark builds everyone knows, loves, and fears.
Yeah.
It's hard to rank these in relation to each other because they're all just so darn great. We'll start with the tiger sharks. Tiger sharks have higher stealth than most of the well-known shark builds,
Man, tigers cannot catch a break. They're stuck at the A tier, I guess.
and also have uniquely shaped teeth that make them more effective at cutting through armor and bone. Similar to actual tigers, the main strategy of a tiger shark is to get close to its target with stealth, and then use a quick burst of speed to snatch it before it can react. On the opposite end of the spectrum from this strategy, we have the mako shark, which has the highest mobility of all the sharks, and uses this to chase down its target.
That's why in the game Mass Effect, that, rover, whatever, is called Mako. Because it has great maneuverability like this.
This playstyle requires a lot of stamina, so this build breaks the mold and opts for warm blood instead of being cold-blooded like most other fish. This gives the mako shark the benefits of fast stamina regeneration, allowing it to keep up a pursuit longer than most other hunters. Since this speed comes at a cost to size, it doesn't quite have the monstrous weight advantage over its targets, and so mako players need to be careful and not get too greedy. The ocean's other premier speed demons, the swordfish and marlin, can be tough matchups for them. At the top of A tier, we have the bull shark, which has two unique and
one
powerful
of the most
abilities.
famous one, I guess.
The first is that they have the highest bite force of any shark, meaning that even though they have pretty average teeth in terms of slicing and cutting utility, they can still deliver an extremely potent bite. The second ability is that bull sharks can enter freshwater servers without receiving the energy sapping and damaging debuff that obligate saltwater builds do. This allows them to travel into rivers and streams where they have no real competition. This makes bull sharks the best build for griefing low-level players, and judging by the bull shark's reputation for being the most aggressive shark...
Isn't the bull shark, it's where, Jaws is based on, was that great white? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the bull, I don't know.
It's clear that this is exactly the type of player that this build attracts. And here we are, the head honchos of the Shark Guild. There's two builds here that occupy low S tier, and honestly I can't place one above the other, they're both just awesome. What makes them so excellent is how well they use their tracking abilities, blood sense, and electroreception. The Great White Shark is no doubt the most feared ocean build in the current meta, and the closest thing to the god tier Megalodon still in existence. They pretty much
Still in existence? What? I thought it was extinct.
current meta.
I'm pretty
and the
sure it's
closest thing
extinct.
to the god tier megalodon
Look at the difference, man. Holy shit. Damn, that is dangerous.
still in existence. They pretty much just take everything that makes sharks so strong and push all of those things to their limit. They don't have as high bite damage as the tiger or bull shark, but the force of a great white's charge attack slamming into their target more than makes up for it, and usually takes the stock no problem. Hunting seal players is difficult because they're clever and try to avoid putting themselves at risk when they don't need to. This is why the great white's ability to see above water is so crucial, because they can see which islands and reefs their targets are hiding on and camp them out. Their blood sense ability is through the roof, and their electroreception ability is quite polished as well, but nowhere near to the extent of the last build on my list,
Hammerhead.
the Hammerhead.
Yep, I knew it.
Now, if you aren't a Hammerhead player, I'm willing to bet that when you look at this build, you think the player fell asleep during character creation and accidentally set eye width to the max. But if you think this option is purely aesthetic and not intentional, you couldn't be more wrong. Hammerheads have the best, most well-optimized sensory abilities in the game. They have full panoramic vision and have binocular eyesight ahead and behind them, which gives them a massive accuracy bonus on the attack and a huge evasion bonus if they're being chased. With the chemo and electroreceptors on the front of their face, they essentially have 3D smell and 3D electroreception, putting their spatial awareness almost as high as dolphins and bats. Their snout shape also lets them turn on a dime, which makes it so their attacks almost never miss. Furthermore,
like a
while they don't
splitter.
hunt together, they do travel in schools, providing
That hammer bit it acts like a splitter, so you can, without drag, you can just turn around. Damn, that is clever.
safety in numbers.
That's awesome, though.
And causing an intimidation debuff on pretty much the entire surrounding area. So that's the tier list for the sharks. As you
Yeah.
can see, they're an amazing class with a lot of useful abilities and strengths to play around with. They have only a few bad mashups like dolphins, orcas, and a few other top tier fish like swordfish and marlin. Thanks for watching. You may have noticed that this channel went from less than 10,000 to well above 100.
Yeah, so dolphins. Wait a minute. Sharks hunt dolphin, right? I'm pretty sure. No. Yeah. So why did he say bad matchup? I don't know. I guess I have more to. There's a fish tier list. I'm gonna react to that too tomorrow. I guess that will clear things up. Who knows? But yeah, that was the shark tier list. Shark is one of the dangerous predators there is, right? I'm pretty sure. Of the sea, at least. How dangerous was Megalodon, man? That was really big. I mean, that's just... I mean, why did he say that, you know, it's still around? I'm pretty sure it's extinct, right? New evidence came forward or something that I don't know about. Huh. Well, I love this channel. It's always fun to react to. I kind of knew somewhat because who doesn't know about sharks, man? Bull shark, great white, hammerhead. People know about that. So yeah, I guess that was something. I'm gonna react to some other areas too, like bats and things like that I have very little knowledge about. It's going to be fun to react to those as well. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out other reaction I did, like the TierZoo's videos, some of them I did. Check out the link in the description. Check out the cards for all the playlists I've created. Check out the end cards, I guess. And yeah, like, subscribe, support this channel if you like it. And I'll see you next time.